Hopefully y'all are doing well. Time for a little bow. Sorry I didn't get to do it on Tuesday. We had some lovely storms happening here. So that kind of went out the window. Anyways, okay, so we have 2 different bows we're doing today. Somehow we were talking last night about bows and it came up about the double bow. Somebody asked about a double bow. So we're going to do our regular bow and then we're going to do a double bow. So get that kind of down. All right. This way we'll show a couple. And I'm going to show you why or what you use double bows for. Okay. So good stuff. There. All right. So first we'll do our regular bow set that we always do. Okay. So let's get all set. I'll show you our ribbons. So we have on this purple, and then we have a pink. Hello. This, of course, is our focal ribbon. This is the watercolor. All right. We finally got one of our machines running. I'm so excited. And then we have this lime green. Sorry, y'all. It's been exciting things happening today. Let's start with the purple. Let's start with the purple. So this is our bow set, I should say. This is our bow set for the week. Okay, get a couple zip ties out. So how are y'all doing today? Y'all ready for your weekend to start? Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to cut. I fold it over and I'm going to cut up towards this wired edge. That way I always know I'm cutting in the right direction. Okay. Alright. Let's do like a 12-inch loop. Okay. And then we'll go out to the 6-inch. How are y'all this fine Friday? Everybody doing well? So we'll do 3 loops at 6 inches. This will be a good one for a mailbox. Are you getting nervous? Don't be nervous. It's gonna be fine. You want some pointers for your craft fair? Y'all look at that. You see that? This is what they do sometimes with ribbon. So let's just go ahead and I'll show you how to fix this. Okay. So I'm here in the middle of the bow and we have where they have stitched it together. So we're going to trim that off and I'm going to trim this off. I need about a good inch right here. So all you do is just start off with an inch. Okay, and we're just going to pretend like we're just keep going with our bow. And we just have an inch on this side. And then we just do our 1 loop. So that was good that happened. I can show y'all how to fix that. Yeah, so it's a very common problem because the way they do ribbon spools is they attach the ribbon so they can keep running it on the spool. And so that's going to happen sometimes. Don't worry about it. Just cut out the little section and keep going. It's not going to be... And if I hadn't been right in the middle of where I was, I wouldn't have even had to cut that much out. Okay. now y'all know how to deal with that when it happens, because it happens. All right. So we'll do our 12-inch tail again. All right, so let me give you some tips for your craft show. Talk to everyone. You don't have to be pushy, and you don't have to, you know, try to sell constantly. Just be there, be friendly, smile. Don't be on your phone, because people take that as a not good sign. And it's a really good idea to have some bows there that you can fluff out or make a bow, because people love to stop and watch if you're doing that. That's how we do it, and it works every single year. We just do the same thing and it works every time. Okay, so we'll do one with this. Make sure you have a backup. Like, I always use my phone when I'm going to check out people, because if you try to use the internet at whatever site, it often goes down, because especially if they have a lot of vendors. So always have a backup way to check them out. Okay. So we're going to go back with the green. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to do 5 inches. Any bow, any bow. You just want to be making something, because that's what attracts people's attention, right? Just the act of making something. And then they'll stop and say, oh, what are you doing? And they'll start looking at what you have. It works. I'm telling you, it works. This trick works really well. And you can a lot of times get custom stuff, custom orders out of that. Definitely have a way they can contact you. Do you have something that shows your social media? You have Square, Cash App, and Venmo. That should be plenty. If you use your Square and you have it attached to your Etsy, you'll get credit for the sale. So I would definitely try to do that. Okay. So we did 3 loops at 5 inches, right? So we're stacking the bow. Just means that we're starting to go down in loops. Okay. Then we'll go back with the purple. Awesome sauce. And take pictures of your booth, because if you want to do another craft fair and they require pictures, it's a good thing to have pictures of how you set up your booth. And talk to the other vendors, because they'll have the in on what the best craft fairs are. And they should be plenty friendly. Usually they are. Usually vendors are really good about talking to each other. Oh, that sounds good. I love these colors too, right? It's like a spring or summer explosion. All right, so we're going to put our focal ribbon on top. Okay. There we go. We got our decal machine working today, so we can start doing wood signs. I'm so excited. All right, so now we're going to take a zip tie, so you can see what we did. We did 3 loops at 6 inch, 2 loops at 6 inch, 1 loop at 6 inch, 3 at 5, 2 at 5, 1 at 5. And we have our focal ribbon right on the top. Okay. Y'all leaving? Bye, have a good weekend. Alright, so there's our indention. So we just want to hold gently, slide it around the back. I love big bows too. Okay, then let's get, well, I think we might put this for a mailbox. So for a mailbox, I like to use, this is called, sometimes it's called rustic wire, sometimes it's called antique wire. See, I have a package. See, this one is called rustic wire, but sometimes they call it antique wire. You can get it in different colors. It's very thick wire, and it's like 18 gauge wire. So with wire, the lower the number, the stronger the wire, so the thicker the wire. All right, so we're going to tie it really tight. I like to hold all three of these while I break the bow, which just means fluffing it out. So you can see how the ribbon kind of gets crammed down in there when we use the zip tie. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it, pull, and twist, and that's going to break it from that center. That's why I call it breaking the bow. It's also going to get our pieces where we want them. I start from the bottom and I work my way to the top. Just like this. If you need to, you can just grab the pieces and pull them out. That can help if they kind of want to stick together. Okay, let's go to the other side. So what happens when you're putting your bows together and it's not coming out right? Can you tell me a little bit more? Tell me more. Tell me what specifically you're having trouble with. Like, what does it do? See there? Then we can take these, run our hands under them, just like this. That's going to get all of our little tails go in the direction we want. I like that nice little curl. I also like, if you can notice, I like my tails to not all be exactly the same length because it gives more of that cascading effect that I like. Oh, we'll do the bow dabber next, okay? We'll see if we can spot the problem. Okay. Then with these, we can roll them up, just put our thumbs in there and just kind of roll around your thumb lightly. You don't want this to be real tight because you want to be able to pull it out. I like to especially do this with the 1.5 inch. Just like that. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. Okay. Now let's talk about the next bow. So yesterday when we were live, we were talking about a double bow, what you would call a double-sided bow. Okay, and all this is essentially, it's the same bow that you use to do for a tree. It can also be used for topiaries or things like, I was telling you yesterday, a kissing ball. So if you don't know what a kissing ball is, it's basically like a styrofoam ball. You put like something like string, jute, or rope through it, and usually have 1 or 2 together. And then you put something like eucalyptus or boxwood on it. We'll have to do this as a project one night. And then it's super cute. and then you put a bow on the top and the bow kind of cascades over. I grabbed these out of my office so that I could kind of at least show you, since it is a ball. I've always heard them called kissing balls. You might have heard them called something else. That's just what I've always heard. All right, so I'll get some of my antique wire out. And we will simulate what it's like. And I'll do a project where we can do that. That'd be fun. So I'm just gonna kind of put this through here. I'm gonna use, well, if I can find them. I wonder if they're on my table. Oh, they are. I'm gonna use my little pliers. See if I can grab this. There we go. So the point being that you have a ball that's hanging. Okay. So this is our make-believe kissing ball. I will tell you what, I love bow makers because, y'all, I have fibromyalgia, so my hands will hurt. And I couldn't do it without I can do bows by hand, certainly, just like anyone, but it hurts. My hands will start cramping. So I like the bow makers because they save my hands from hurting. All right, so I just grabbed some random ribbon. The first thing you want to do is you want to determine the length and the size. So if you were doing a tree, like if you were doing a Christmas tree, you would want to measure out how long you wanted your tails to be. Since we're doing this as a ball project, we'll do, let's see, about 10 inches for the tail, and then we want to measure out our loops and see. So you want it to come over the side. So let's see what size loop that is. That is about a 6-inch loop. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start with our tail. I'm not going to do anything with this tail right now. And I will pick a spot on my mat so that I can use it to measure out to 6 inches, right? Oh, let me show y'all. I don't know if y'all know this, but you can put your ribbon on these just like you do with your mesh so that you don't have to get one of those little ribbon holders. All right, so I'll go out to the 6. All right, so that's 6 inches. Okay, that's 6 inches. Once I have it measured once, then I can just use this to just do it again. Yeah, weaving needle would probably work. I just put thicker wire in it. Okay. There we go. So let's do 3 loops. Okay. Dad, if you're tired, come sit down. He's probably tired by now. There we go. All right, trim it off. One thing, if you're using a bow dabber, one thing you can do is take your zip tie and you can actually feed it right through the bottom and to get it underneath your loops, and then you will make sure that you have it right in the middle every time. Okay, so let's go on to our next ribbon. I just grabbed some 50-yard rolls because I knew it would be easy to do it. You know how I love those weaving needles. Love those things. Okay, so now we'll do 2. We'll do 2 loops. I don't want to do too much of a big bow for this because it would overwhelm it. But we're going to remember what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing 2 of these. I am. Thank you. I'm still in the boot, but I'm hoping that it'll come off soon. I was hoping to be out of it by now, but not so much. But that's okay. We'll get it figured out. Alright, so we have 3 loops and 2 loops. Now, one thing I will say, when you're doing one of this double-sided bow, is you really want to use the same ribbons on both sides so that it looks like it's one continuous ribbon, one continuous bow. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of push this down. So, grab another one. Okay, do a 1 loop in this. Pull it out, trim it off. There. Now we can just pull up our zip tie, get it started. See, there's our indentation. One thing, when you are doing your zip ties, make sure you're holding on to one side, because if you don't, your ribbon is going to move with your zip tie and then you're going to have a problem. So what I'll do, make sure those are equal. I thought that looked a little big. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, get another zip tie in the back of this. Okay. Pull it tight. You see how this loop kind of flopped down to the bottom? Let me show you what you're going to do. When that happens, just pull it. As we do our fluff, we're going to pull it up and put it in the right place. You can pull it back up even if it gets pulled down. That does happen. Alright, so now let's twist. You just go to the YouTube channel on a regular TV. If you have Hulu, I actually have my own channel and you can watch it on there. So, there we go. Like that, okay? Pull our tails. Now we'll probably need to trim the tails and stuff, so I'm not really going to do much with that right now. So you can see, you don't want to do any more than this or it would overwhelm our little kissing ball. Okay, so we got one. Let's use the big one to do the last one. So that way you can see that no matter what bow maker you use, they'll all come out the same, okay? It's about the technique of just using the bow maker regardless of what bow maker you have. Okay. So, oh yeah, I didn't do any of that yet. We did a 10-inch tail. Okay, put those scissors away. Alright, so you can see here, this one's easier to see on. You can see the markings on the bow maker. What's better for bow making? Oh, thank you, that's so sweet. Honestly, I prefer one of the easy bow makers just because I kind of tend to struggle sometimes with it popping up in this because it is kind of loose. However, I will say this is going to be the cheaper option. So you kind of have to determine it based on your budget, right? Okay. So 6 inches. See how I've got my loops? The loop itself is at the 6 inches. If you're measuring it out, you're actually gonna, for a 6-inch loop, you would have 12 inches, right? So if you go out to the 12 inches, this is where your ribbon is gonna go through the bow maker. See how that worked? Because you're doubling it over, right? You're doubling it up. The only other thing that I don't like about the bow dabber is there's no measurements on it. So you have to use your table or something. But it works, and it is a good economical bow maker. So definitely nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I don't believe in spending a ton of money just on a bow maker. I have them so I can demo, but you can make them by hand, absolutely. If you don't have a bow maker, what you can do, if you don't have a bow maker, is use a ruler or your mat, right? So we would go out to the 10, pinch, take that, go from the 0 to the 12, bring it behind, pinch again, then measure from the 12 to the 0, bring it over, and you just do that again, right? So you would go under on this side, pinch in the middle, and over on this side, pinch in the middle. And we have lots of videos where we do them by hand. We've done both ways, and it's going to turn out the same either way you do it. The biggest thing is just making sure your measurements are right and that your loops are staying in the middle and that stuff. Most errors we can correct pretty easily. And a lot of times, most of the problem is just it needs to be fluffed out better. And that's usually what it is. Okay. So, one more loop. And then I'll show you how you do this together. So at Christmas time, we always do these because this is how we make tree topper bows. You would just add in, you would start larger and you would add in a little bit more ribbon, like we did with this one, how we have multiple layers. So this is what you would do for a tree, just on a bigger scale. Exact same thing. So it is not difficult to do a tree topper bow. Thank you. All right. So we've got this one. So let's grab our zip tie, thread it under. Dad, why don't you come sit down? Pull it out. We're done with that one. Okay, so we can see where that indentation is. And we're going to slide it around. We need to put another zip tie through here. Pull it really tight. Then we're going to do our fluffing. Oh yeah, the videos will stay on here, so you can come back and watch them later. You can also, if you're on my channel on YouTube, if you go to where the videos are listed, there's a search bar, and you can search, like if you put in bow, then all my bow videos would come up so you can figure out which one you want. All right, there we go. So you can see they're the same. You see? Two different bow makers, but they're the same. Okay. So we can trim this off. And then you have a double-sided bow. See, that's not hard at all, is it? Let me lift y'all up a little bit so you can see what I'm showing you. See how you just take these two? It's still pretty sore, but it's getting better. See, when you put them back to back, then you have one whole round bow. Okay. So you can just take this, pick a place that you want to put the bow. I'll zip tie this bow on. I'm still in the boot. Oh, it's so annoying, but I'm in it. I'm doing what he says. I really don't want to. And then I'm going to go on the other side, tie the other one. I want it to be in the same spot. Okay. And then what I usually do is I'll tie a knot or something right there. Okay, just to keep it from kind of coming out. But you can see this kissing ball. And then what we'll do is we'll fix our tails. So what I want to do with this is curl the tails up, because we still want to see this ball down here. And we hardly ever do these, but we're going to do it just the same way that we do the other one. You could also take your ribbon and fold it a couple of times and just put a crease in it like that. It really just depends on how you want it to look. But I want to definitely see the little ball down here. But we'll do a project soon where we make one. They're super cute to do at weddings. This is just a regular little ball, but the one that I'm kind of telling you about is called a kissing ball. They're decorations for your wedding or your porch or something like that. They're often used outside. See, and then we just kind of fold this one. Yeah, this is just a white whisker ball. I had wicker ball I had in my office. I just grabbed it for demonstration purposes. Look how cute that is. You see? Now usually the ball is larger and has something like, you know, boxwood or eucalyptus in it. We'll do one as a project and then you can see what I mean. I can show you how to do it. Isn't that fun? So if you imagine this is a tree, it would be the same thing, right? You would just tie your bow on both sides around your tree with your tails draping down. Isn't that fun? You're going to go ball crazy. You already are ball crazy. Y'all, Z loves anything like decorated balls or anything like that. She just loves them. All right, this was fun. All right, so let's look at what we did today. So we have our little make-believe kissing ball and then our bow set. Thank you. See, those came out really cute, didn't they? I love that. And they're really fun. So, like if you use something like this wicker one, what could you do is you can put little fairy lights in here and then you hang it outside your house, right? And you would see the bow and then you would see the little fairy lights in the ball. That would be super cute. Then you have a little thing to hang it with. Wouldn't that be cute? I think that would be fun. Yeah, so what I did is I made 2 bows and I just put them back to back on here at the top, a little bit above, so you can see there's probably 1 inch or so that I went so that it is a little bit above the ball so you can still see the ball. And you can even put one under it and attach them together. Then you can put lights in both. Yeah, I think that's where it started, was they had mistletoe in the little balls and they hung them up as kissing balls. But then it went to like a wedding decoration, and they used little styrofoam balls with like boxwood and stuff in it. Awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. Not a problem at all. If y'all ever get a sign and you don't know what mesh to put with it, you're welcome to email me. I'll be glad to help you. All right. Awesome. Well, I think this was fun. All right. Well, I think I'm going to take my dad home. I know he's tired. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Maybe when we do it as a project, I'll get some little lights, some little fairy lights, and we'll put the little lights in there so you can see what it looks like. Thank you. All right, well, I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Oh, we did list the new kit, and we listed a bunch of new signs, and some of the signs I'm obsessed with. So, I hope y'all have a great afternoon, and I will see y'all for sure on Tuesday, maybe on Monday. It just depends on how things are going. We've had to have some stuff done at the studio, so there was a little electrical problem, so they're kind of taking out a wall to fix some stuff. So we sort of had to shut down again just a little bit, but hopefully they'll have it all done next week. Yes. The Welcome Leopard one. Yes, you know which one I'm obsessed with. I know. I love anything leopard print. I just love it. So we have one that's got like leopard print on the bottom, and it's like black on the top, and then it says welcome on it. Oh, it's just so cute. All right. Hopefully next week I'll be able to show y'all some of the projects that we're going to be doing in the studio. I'm pretty excited. Now that we have our wood cutting machine, we've been like working on different projects that we can do. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. All right, I hope y'all have a great night. I just keep talking.